Fundamental move number 11, bridging. And we're actually going to do two different kinds of bridges here. We're going to start with an articulated bridge, or sometimes called a rolling bridge, because of how you're going to kind of roll through your spine and try to move one vertebrae at a time. So, first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to take the pillow out from under her head, or the towel in this case, but whenever we're going to roll up and have your weight in your shoulder girdle and in your neck, you don't want anything under your head. You want to be nice and flat, otherwise it creates too much head thrust, right? So we're going to take a nice big inhale here. We're going to start with that pelvic curl we did a few moments ago, and you're going to tilt the pelvis up. And now one vertebrae at a time, she's going to peel her back off the table, and her thighs are reaching out that way as her tummy is drawing up that way. And you pause there and breathe in. And she's going to try to keep her hips up as she brings just her rib cage down. And then the lower ribs. And then the mid-back. And the waistband. And then she's going to roll her hips all the way down. And we'll just do one more like that. I'm going to show you a little tip. As you exhale, you're going to pelvic curl and start to lift. Now notice her head doesn't move. Her head doesn't get shoved that way. If your head slides, that means you're pushing with your feet. You're pushing into your head, neck, and shoulders. Instead, I want you to curl your feet down and pull the thigh bones that way. Inhale here, and exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Good. Into that nice pelvic curl. You might feel your hamstrings working. That's a good thing. And roll down and rest. So that's an articulated or neutral bridge. Or excuse me, an articulated or rolling bridge. Now we're going to do neutral bridge. So instead of starting with that pelvic tilt, right, we're going to try to keep the spine exactly as it is, and we're just going to lift the hips straight up. I think back to my old Jane Fonda workout videos and dating myself there, where you would just sort of, they called it a hip thrust. You would just press your hips straight up to the ceiling. Again, her head's not going to move. It's going to stay right there. So you can take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to stand onto your feet and just lift the hips up. And then you're going to inhale and lower down, but don't roll through your back. So it's going to feel a little bit like you stick your booty out and tap, and then you're going to lift your hips straight back up. Good. Try not to roll through the spine here. Stick the booty out and tap your tailbone. Good. One more time. Lift the hips straight up and come down and rest. So called a neutral bridge because we're not changing the spine. We're keeping it in its neutral place. Those are your bridges: articulated bridging and neutral bridging.